What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hey Pumpkin. We had a few technical difficulties all through that last attempt at recording, so we're gonna take it from the top and try this all over again. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Doing good.
I'm blessed.
Good. We want to welcome our guest, the CEO of Flossy Decor, Miss Neek, Miss Flossy Decor herself. What's going on with you? How are you doing?
I am having an exceptional start to 2026.
All right, exceptional start.
Feeling good.
Okay, good. All right, Momma Kim, you ain't got to go into as much detail as you did previously, but we know that you're going to be going underneath the knife.
I am. Next week, honey.
Don't be so dramatic.
I am, honey. But no, I am looking forward to having a better everything in 2026 is allowing me to do that. So I'm happy. Yes. It's making me feel definitely better when we'll see next week. I'll text you. Well, maybe not, but I will be, getting rest, and I'm gonna try to get some rest this week. So
how long are you gonna be down for?
Baby, I went to that dentist. I said, sir, fill out this paper for 3 weeks. He said, oh, you need 5. I said, I need 3. Thank you.
5 weeks?
No, 5 days. I said, I need 3 weeks, sir.
That's like have a baby delivery timeout.
About 5 days. I'm like, 5? I said, sir, I work third shift. He said, what's that? I said, I know that's right, Dennis. It's 7. He said, okay. He filled that paper
for 3 weeks?
From the 21st to the 17th. The 16th, I'm sorry.
Are you going to rest?
I am.
Okay.
I am, because I'm not gonna have no choice. I'm not gonna have no choice.
When you gonna get the surgery? When you get
the 22nd.
Okay, the next. Oh, okay. Nick, don't believe that, because this lady had COVID, and she was on there. Oh my God, I got COVID. And this is when the COVID was a real big deal.
Oh,
excuse me. And I'm like, well, how you got the COVID, but you at the mall?
I was.
A little reckless.
I
thought cutting the grass in November with COVID was bad, but going to a mall, that's choice.
I was in the mall because the rest of them had it too. So I was like, hey.
Brian, she was out there acting like she was healthy. At the
mall. It was a good day.
Out to eat. She was just doing all her regular things. The only thing she didn't do was go to work.
I was about to comment that all for quality of life here after surgery, but she clearly was all about quality of life all of the time. So
let me tell you,
don't
last time I had COVID, I was at work last year, and one of my managers, he was like, did you have COVID? He said you look like you was about to die. I said, y'all weren't gonna pay me, so I was right up in here. And I was sick as fuck, but I was at work. But this time, I'm not going to be in the streets. I'm gonna be at home, unless I start feeling better. Then I might be in the streets, but we'll see. I ain't gonna tell you if I'm going to the streets.
That's reasonable.
Yes, because he gonna put that judgy spirit out there. Lucky Mary J. Blige ain't coming until May, because I think I'm gonna be in Las Vegas in May.
Yeah, Lisa told me y'all was talking about going.
So I'll be coming from the cruise, and I'll probably then catch a flight to Vegas to go see Mary J. Blige.
Oh, look at you! Listen, count me out on that, Mary J. Blige. The last time I seen her, it wasn't all that, so I said,
"Oh, don't come from my girl."
I mean, we know that's your girl. Anyway, Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Nothing really noteworthy to talk about, but it's been a decent week, so no complaints.
What do you mean nothing noteworthy to talk about?
Hasn't really been so far this week. There's not been anything noteworthy to talk about.
Right. Well, tell your haters, Momma Kim, that you got a gig on Sunday, and it's sponsored by Flossy and Max.
Oh.
And Brian is the DJ, the hip hop leather party at Greg's. Oh, now look, Brian. Now she clapping for you. Any other time she'd be trying to come some shade, but maybe she's turning over a new leaf in
2026. It still could be in Kentucky. It still could be in Kentucky.
You got a location? We can hop on the road.
Right.
See, look at her.
We can get on the road. We can come through. You got a location?
Ain't that it? Nonetheless, it's gonna be a good time. I'm sure of it. I am sure of it. So it's a hip hop leather party, right?
Yes.
Tell me about this, Neat.
I'm so excited for this one. I love when we have a theme. I love when we get together and dance. Sometimes you're releasing a tired week, worries, outside noise, anxiety, whatever. When you walk through those doors, you let your hair down. It's dark in there. I actually made a little video earlier I want to send to you. I'm a little camera shy, so I don't know how I want to go about this. But I go through my phone and I send the flyer to everybody, and someone asked me what is Greg's. Because believe it or not, people don't know. They don't put two and two together, and they don't read. And even though it says Flossy, and even though people have my number saved, I had somebody say, "Oh, I didn't know this was your party." I said, "Oh." So anyway, I wanted to do just like a little quick explanation to let people know that Greg's is a safe place. Although it's predominantly white people, we want diversity. We welcome people of all shapes of life, straight, whatever. You don't have to be gay to be there. So don't be afraid to share the flyer. You ain't gonna get gay by sharing the flyer. You ain't gonna get attacked by coming through the door. Come have a good drink. Come shake a tail feather. Bring some cash and shake some ass. Wait, bring some cash and shake some ass. Dang, but that sounds like the strip club, huh? I'm gonna work on the slogan, but
yeah. Tweak the slogan a little bit. Yeah. But no, I'm sure it's gonna be a good time. Brian's gonna be on DJ Evox. It's gonna be on the ones and twos, and so
and he's the best. Might I add, he is the best.
I've been hearing that. He's really been turning the parties up. The previous two parties, he listen, shake your haters off, Brian. This one here, Momma Kim, shake them off.
My knees was hurting. My knees.
Oh,
tune up.
And just to throw this out there for anybody that is watching and thinking about going, the leather part is optional. So if you don't feel like you have something to wear, you don't have to. So come as you are. You're welcome. Yeah.
Yes. Oh. Well, good. And my baby, just for those who've been wondering, my baby, she's on the mend. Your grandchild,
girl, please.
She's on the mend.
She been quiet, so I'm okay.
Did y'all see that video I just sent y'all of her?
Oh Lord, what's she looking like?
She's actually laying here.
Let me see.
No.
Oh,
no, y'all didn't say oh.
I guess I wasn't privy to her conditions, even though I've been praying.
What you mean? Ooh, you been praying for my baby?
Mm-hmm. You know, like how they go on Facebook and be like, "Oh, pray for me," and then weeks later, I be wanting to circle the block. Was you all right? I sent a prayer. Give me.
She's on the. She's
because he was on Facebook with the cone on her head.
Don't do it. Don't do my child like that. Listen, she was going through. But she's like I said, she's on the mend. Nick, let me send you the video so you can.
Thank you.
She had a little cone on her head and everything, but she is y'all hear how she sound?
No.
I'm about to let you listen because she sound like a whole man.
She's been confused for a while.
Not too much. You don't hear it? Yes, because he gonna put that spirit out there. You can't hear you when you hear it on your phone. You hear it on your phone. You'll hear her sound like a whole man out here. But
it was hurting her, honey.
It was. I'm sure it was uncomfortable for her. But she pushed through. It's funny because she did good on the ride there. She did good on the ride. Well, I don't know Pierre picked her up, but on the way there, she sat down. She was quiet, all this type of things. She got in there. She was quiet, sat down. So she must have knew something was going on. But she's thank you for your concern, Momma Kim. Because you ain't even called to check on her or nothing. But that's okay. Well, some grandmother you are. Anyway, as we move on.
I don't check on them real kids. The hell? Leanne called me the other day, woke me up out of my sleep. I said, "What do you want?" I said, "Where's your mom?"
That's what you say to your grandchild.
Yes.
What do you want?
What do you want, girl? I'm asleep, girl. Why are you calling me at 1 o'clock? You interrupted my nap time.
1 a.m.
1 p.m.
Wait, Nick, she worked nights, so she be
sleep.
Yeah,
30.
I understand. My sister worked the graveyard shift.
Mm-hmm.
Or faking at it.
Ooh. Baby,
because she don't really be sleep. She don't really be sleep.
Knocked out. Ooh.
Ooh. Sound like you and Remy got something in common.
Yes, girl.
Pardon the hospital socks, but see, she's a good dog. See, she be sitting there nice and quiet.
Until.
Don't do that to her. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Until.
Okay. Shh.
Never mind. Nope.
Hello. Can we get on with the show?
What?
I was trying to let you hear my baby.
Can we get on with the show? Other people got
shit. Like that lady at work when you ask about the great kid and then they go through the album and they want to show you all the pictures, all the ladies.
We out here working. Come on, let's go. The hell?
Lord Jesus. Anyway.
We all got quiet. I'm like, what the fuck?
Because I want because you could y'all like, okay, y'all, I see.
He was like,
ain't that it? Ain't that it?
What the hell?
Nonetheless, moving on. So tonight we wanted to discuss a topic that seems to be getting forgotten about. Or now I say getting forgotten about, it's just not getting the attention that it deserves. So we will start off with this clip and then we'll get into discussion.
Yesterday, Dr. Janelle Green Smith lost her life during childbirth, who's delivered over 200 babies herself, who is a midwife out of South Carolina. Why Black women are the most likely to pass away during childbirth, I have no earthly idea, but it is an exhausting number that continues to grow every single day. No matter all of the education, no matter all of the support, no matter how much advocating that she did for other people, in the midst of her giving birth to her own child, she loses her life. With everything that she did, with all that she gave, with all the continued education and support that she provided for other people, none of that actually protected her in the moment that she actually needed it, because she had provided it for so many people. I have already seen so many people writing and stating that they got through their pregnancy with her, and to even hear or even try to fathom hearing that this woman is no longer here while she was in the midst of giving birth to her child is absolutely devastating. Now, the baby did survive. The baby.
So, according to some news stories, the baby did survive. Actually, she went into labor, I think, on the 24th of December, which is, of course, Christmas Eve, and was starting to experience some difficulties. Not went into labor. She went to the hospital, to the emergency base, because she was having some complications with her pregnancy, preeclampsia, which is a blood pressure disorder that a lot of pregnant women experience. And so the baby was born, and then within a week she had passed. The baby was born early because it wasn't due until February, and then she passed a few days after her baby was born. So I think what not ironic, but interesting about that clip is when the lady said that the care that she was giving to others, she didn't receive. And so she spent her devoted her life to helping other women bring their children into the world. And then when it comes time for her to have her child, she's not getting that same level of care that she was given to those women. It's kind of alarming that the disparity amongst the Black women mortality rate as it compares to women of other ethnicities. Stated that Black women, this is from 2023, Black women experience 50.3 deaths per 1,000 live births, white women 14.5% deaths, Hispanic 12.4, and Asian 10.7. So I know we say that it's it's related to the level of care that they are not receiving, but those are pretty astonishing numbers. If you could, comparing 50.3 and then the next in line is 14.5, that's a big difference in numbers. And so I'll let you kick it off, Momma Kim, and give us your take on this issue.
So when we talked in our last podcast, and you was like, "Hey, what topic did you want to talk about?" I'm like, and this have been coming past my feed on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, about women being pregnant and getting to the hospital and not getting the care and or help that they need when they're in active labor, not just having contractions, but when they're in active labor. And this has happened to me. It happened to my daughter. Just the care, because you think about it, because at first you're like, oh, this gotta happen to just poor Black women. They on welfare, they don't have any money. It's not. It's people that have good insurance, or women that have good insurance, it's women that have money and still are not getting the care that they need during this traumatic, because it's traumatic to your mind and body, and then not getting the help that you need. My daughter is now 37. So 37 years ago, I experienced that, where I get to the hospital, I was going to my checkup. The doctor said, "You in labor," sent me to the hospital. They gave me the medicine to help you induce your labor, to help you push and get dilated. And this was like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And during the night shift, and I don't know if it was because the nurses came in and just didn't check or whatever, but through the rest of the night, no one came in my room and checked on me to find that my IV got clogged and the medicine stopped working. And so in that time, I was supposed to already be in active birth, labor, all of that. So 8 hours later, now here come a nurse like, "Oh, your IV was clogged. Now I got to get a new IV and all these things." And it was traumatic because now I'm having more labor pains than I probably should have. I'm having basically a natural birth because now I'm in active labor finally, and it's like, "Oh, you're not gonna get any or an epidural," and I'm like, "Hold on." So I'm having a child pushing. People say that stuff be amazing and feel good. That's the worst pain in the fucking world. I don't know how people push babies out their coochies, and I pushed one, and I was like, "Save that for the next person. I don't ever want that ever to happen to me again." But of course, I had another child. But I had a C-section. But just the care was just not there. And it's unfortunate that you see it not. Again, my own child went through the same thing. She pushed her daughter out. The room, everybody that was in the room left out except for me, and I think my mom was in there with me. And she was looking around. She said, "Mom, I can't feel my legs." I was like, What you mean you can't feel your legs?" And come to find out, they didn't get all the placenta out, which could have caused her to die. And she was in there, she was like, "Mom," like going into shock. And if I wasn't there to advocate for her, she could have died. And that's the unfortunate part, that we as Black women don't have that person to advocate for you. when you come into the hospital, it's not that black doctor or that. I'm not gonna say that because when I had my third child, I did have a black doctor, and I told her, I said, I need help. I do not want to have another child. I am in the system. I'm on welfare. I want to go get an education, but if I keep going in this rate, I'm gonna have 4 or 5 kids, and I'm not gonna ever accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. And because of this black doctor, I was able to go get my tubes tied and not ever have a child again. But I cried and begged. But she must have said, she probably like, yeah, nigga, you're not about to have no more kids. And she helped me. And I was happy that she helped me. But then, of course, I get the care, I get my tubes tied. 3 years later, I got pregnant again.
With your tubes tied?
Yes, I got
That was destined.
Yep, I got pregnant in my tubes. 3 years later, went to the hospital to talk about care. I thought I was having gas.
Oh,
Went to the emergency room
like
because it went away.
Respucia.
And it was the most painful. Oh, it was so painful. And
Mm.
they left me sitting in the waiting room because I'm like, it's gas. They gave me a pregnancy test, and I'm like, I can't have kids. So they had me in the room. They come back. They say, congratulations. Congratulations to what? I had my tubes tied. So the fetus, whatever, was in the tube growing, which was on the verge of busting or bursting. And they had to emergency surgery and take my fallopian tube because that's where it was growing.
Wow.
Wow.
So they say 99%, and I was that 1% that did get pregnant after my tubes got
Wow.
burnt and clipped and all that. And I got pregnant again in my tubes, and it was not fun.
Wow.
And they did not treat me well when I got to the hospital.
Mm.
So, but I'm here to live another fight. But it's a women that's not been able to do that.
That's very true. That's very true. Nick, let's get your perspective on this issue.
I do agree that it's an issue. I do agree that unfortunately it's growing. It's definitely something that makes you weary when you do need care. It's like, who do you trust? And it is nice when you see a black doctor or a black nurse and you can kind of feel like you can relax. But like you were saying earlier, sometimes it's not just one race that's being neglectful or discriminating. Sometimes it's literally just you being how you are. It's been times that I've been just a genuine nice person and all right, this and that. Like, dang, it's in the morning. Why do you have such a strong attitude and you're in the health care?
Right.
Mm.
But that's how it be sometimes. One story I would like to share is my neighbor's sister. She was 37 or 38. She was in her late 30s. I forget what age determines geriatric, maybe like 43, 45, something around there. But even when you're past like 35, I believe, it gets more riskier. Your body's getting older and changing. Well, she had a baby, her first baby, late in her 30s. And she had a situation where her brain was bleeding afterwards and she was experiencing headaches. And instead of them saying headaches after a pregnancy and you were going through preeclampsia, let's maybe do some more observation, maybe have you follow up with your doctor, any type of education. Because sometimes our body gives us warnings like headaches, fevers, inflammation, to let you know something ain't right, especially after a baby.
Yeah.
On a regular day, if you get a headache, it might not be so much. But after a baby, pay attention to that. They didn't, and unfortunately, during her transport from one hospital to a more advanced hospital, assuming road conditions, the route, as long as it took, she lost her life once she got to the other hospital. And at that point, it's just kind of like, all right, identify, she's gone, move on. However, you have a family that's struggling to understand how do you go from, okay, have a baby to gone. Like the signs are there. And sometimes I feel like it's safe to assume that Black people are are used kind of like as guinea pigs. And it's okay to take a risk with a Black woman. Oh, she's strong. That it's in our history to use them as our first test of trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I honestly feel.
Wow. Interesting. Brian, you want to chime in on this?
I'm just gonna say, I mean, that's one of the things you hear about, like, a lot about medical students and their weird beliefs that they have about Black patients, that they don't experience pain the same way, that they have
Yes.
literally thicker skin, these things that have been proven false repeatedly, and yet, and they're not officially taught by any, legitimate medical practitioner, and yet a lot of people believe it. And I don't have numbers in front of me right this moment, but I've even heard of Black medical students who end up believing those things too, because it's so prevalent amongst their
Yes.
peers. And, like, we know this is false, and yet we can't shake that odd belief. Uh, and that, I think, probably goes to explain a lot of, I don't remember who touched on it, but as we were or in the video itself, it said, a healthcare professional that provided all these services and helped somebody with, this very thing, dying from this thing. And if a healthcare professional can't advocate for themselves amongst other healthcare professionals, how's a normal person supposed to advocate for themselves? Like that is absolutely crazy, and certainly doesn't help that, again, medical professionals have antiquated, weird ideas about, how to treat Black patients.
Mm-hmm.
It is shocking.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when you live through it and you see it and you come from out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, damn, I'm living to now to talk about it or to see it. I'd say, like, Dominique was in an accident and she crushed her ankle, and after giving birth, she was older too. She was in her early 30s, but was older. She failed. The doctor said, "Oh, it's because your ankle is messed up." Well, come to find out, she had a tumor on her back that was being covered up from her being pregnant. And after birth, she went to the emergency room, and it was a nurse there that said, "Doctor, this don't seem right," because they was gonna send her home.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do an MRI, and they found it. Emergency surgery, like, next week, to get the tumor out her back. Like, you can go on and on. We probably have more stories amongst of all of that going to the hospital and not getting the proper care.
Yeah.
Giving the wrong medication.
Too much medication.
Yes. Telling you there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your mind.
Mm-hmm. Or not checking things. We had a guy at church who gave a testimony. He was on a medication that could be triggered by seizures. Well, he ended up hurting himself while on vacation, went to the ER, and they prescribed him a pain medication. And he specifically asked, will it, counteract what I'm already taking to prevent X, Y, and Z? They guaranteed him, oh, yeah, you good. You know what I'm saying? He said something just kept saying, do some research. Don't just take that medicine. The first line said, don't take da-da-da because it's going to kill you. It's fatal. And he was like, he just stopped. Like, I got to thug it through this pain because it's not worth it.
It's crazy.
It's not worth it. Or they don't even check your history to know if you're addicted. You can't just give everybody narcotics. Oh, new drug addict, like, slow down. It's not always medicine.
Yeah. So I was looking at this article from UChicago Medicine, and so it's saying that Black maternal mortality rates are higher due to systematic racism, implicit bias in healthcare, socioeconomic disparities, lack of access to quality care, maternity care deserts essentially, and higher rates of chronic conditions like hypertension. So one of the things that I found interesting is that lack of diversity. Fewer Black doctors means fewer clinicians who share cultural understanding impacting Black women's outcomes. So I think, well, we had some technical difficulties, but that was the question I asked with the presence of Black doctors and nurses, that this is finding this to be still an issue. However, I guess Black doctors and nurses are in a minority still, so that would make sense as to why that level of care is not there. And then also said, like, maternity care deserts. So Black women are more likely to live in areas with no obstetricians,
OBGYN,
Yep.
female doctor.
Yes, but we'll go with that because that's that ain't the word, but yeah, we'll go with that. But so it's forcing reliance on under-resourced ERs. So basically, to not to make an excuse, Brian, to what you were saying earlier, but I guess it's saying and attributing to the fact of, I know it's they're undertrained and they don't really know. So then they're making these inferences as to say, oh, you know what I'm saying, you can handle a little more pain than, or because they're right, ignorant to what's really going on. So it is pretty unfortunate. Say it again.
I said replacing skill with folklore.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then also a taught behavior. Like kind of how the understanding between cops. You can have a good cop and you have a bad cop. But if that good cop wants to get a promotion or wants to be seen a certain way, he might not say something or report his counterpart because that's going to blow up something for him. Like there's that hidden line of understanding.
Definitely.
Or like Momma Kim said earlier, it'd be a community of understanding. And when you a Black new student, you done got through all these loans. You trying to make a name for yourself. You don't want to be the whistleblower. You just going to do what your counterparts do. And what they say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You might look like me, and I might feel more safe in your presence, but don't mean you're advocating for me.
That's very true. That's very true. So I want to take a look at this video of a young lady who was denied care and what she experienced after that.
Getting kicked out of the hospital in active labor for being Black, and her husband having to deliver their baby on the side of the road. This happened in Crown Point, Indiana, where Mercedes Wells arrived in clear distress after hours of strong contractions. Staff focused only on her dilation number, decided she wasn't progressing, and discharged her. They did not track her contractions, did not reassess her pain, and did not listen when she said something was wrong. 8 minutes after being forced out, her labor collapsed into crisis. Her husband pulled over their truck as the baby crowned, delivering their child on the roadside while Mercedes screamed through pain that should never have been managed alone. They then drove 30 more minutes to another hospital because the first one refused to treat her. This is not a rare failure. Black women are repeatedly dismissed during pregnancy and birth, and the consequences are often fatal. Labor is not measured by dilation alone. If a woman gives birth within minutes of discharge, her contractions were clearly close and strong. The hospital missed what should have been obvious.
So there it is again, that she, another woman that didn't get the care that she needed. Watching that, I guess the question came to mind is the ultimate goal to have fewer Black lives? Is that what it is? And so, the kids, if the baby doesn't make it or the mother doesn't make it, that's just, fewer Black lives. I would hate, me being somewhat naive in certain areas, I would hate to think that would be the ultimate goal. But I mean, it's
and organs. If a mother is healthy enough and dies right there in the hospital, boom, they can get her organs if they let her die.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? I never.
Like when people are in accidents, so they got emergency kidney transplant, heart transplant.
Organ donation,
Somebody
died. Don't you have to be a donor for them to take your organs, correct?
You have to. Or that, or your family.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you've ever declared it one way or another, your family.
Your family can make the choice for you?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Not if if you yourself have said that you do not want to be an organ donor, your family can't override that. But if you've never said it one way or another, your family can make a choice.
interesting. But yeah, so I would hate to believe that would be the reason or the cause for this, but it's I'm starting to lean towards that as I'm listening to the stories and saw some of the videos that you sent me, Momma Kim. It's like it's mind-boggling as to why the care is so different. And to your point, I think you mentioned earlier, is we're talking about women from all walks of life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, some women coming in with their husbands, some, someone may affluent, so it's not, when you hear stories like this, you automatically think, oh, this,
And poor. Yep.
Poor on welfare, don't have insurance, all those type of things. But it's happening to everybody. Like the lady, she was a midwife, giving care to other women and helping them bring their children to the world. And they hear when it's time for her to get the care, she's not cared for in the same manner, which is very much so unfortunate. So
we had legal counsel present when we had Shane. It was during COVID, and just all the new guidelines were starting to get in place, and I had to be tested. You had all these different parameters to even be there. Only her and I could be, like, there was just so much. And everybody was white. And so we had our legal counsel present on the phone, and I do feel like it was weary for her to have a natural birth, no problems, no issue. We should have went home, I think, at least after that second or third day. At least that was my assumption. You know how things are advanced now. This COVID, big COVID, it was 2020. COVID is going around, send us home, get us out of here. I think they kept us an extra day, and by then, I'm knocking on doors. We're leaving. I don't know what y'all plan is. She's good. I mean, because I have a healthcare background. I've had 2 children myself, C-sections at that.
Yeah.
She had one out her vagina, and she's good. We'll walk and exercise at home. We'll give y'all an update next week. That nurse came back like, okay, here's your paper. Because I felt like we were being held hostage. It's sick in here. Get us out of here.
Yeah.
Why do I have to say it? Don't you want me out of here?
So did they ever specifically say why they were keeping you longer, or was it?
They had no reason.
They didn't move.
And then another thing, I tell people this: don't let your baby go to the nursery and just sit there. I know you want to rest. I know you want to get back to whatever. Keep your baby in that room.
That's right.
What is your reason for saying that?
Safety and to know your baby. It's
that bonding and all that.
Your baby. If you don't want your baby circumcised, and we just assumed or we thought, so we went ahead and took care of it. Oh, I wanted to breastfeed. Oh, where you was asleep, we let you sleep, so we went ahead and gave him a bottle. Now he won't wean on the nipple. Get on the nipple. Oh, he just had a little bit of this skin, and we just went ahead and gave him his vaccinations. No, I got Will to go see my son be circumcised to make sure you don't accidentally do something and don't tell me, because that's very traumatizing. I was present when they did the shots. Let me see how you're sticking him, because things can happen. And then all of a sudden, and this happened to Black people, women too, you getting charges or getting investigation about something that has occurred, and you didn't even know it occurred. Like, the communication do not be clear. And if you're young, they really not talking to you.
And that is, to your point, like me having a baby at 18, young in the hospital by myself.
Yep.
We stayed in there 5 days. I did have a C-section with Pierre. But they allowed me to have him in my room 24/7, which they probably shouldn't have, because I was actually in that moment was going to give him up for adoption. But they let me have him, and he was in there with me. They didn't do things, but I think I was an advocate at that moment after I had him. I was like, hey, where's his bottles? Like, bring him to because they won't. They'll try to keep, and then this is how kids get kidnapped out the hospital.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, they came up with devices and things like that. But you have to be an advocate for yourself. And it's unfortunate. Oh,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
baby, them mutts, baby. We're in the cage.
Yeah, continue on. Continue on to what you were saying. You have to be an advocate for yourself.
You really do.
And your baby.
Yes.
And your baby or babies.
Yeah, because if you don't, they'll try to give you, make you, just like you said, doing all these things not in your presence, and it's crazy. And if you don't be an advocate for yourself and your children, they'll get over. I mean, my dad, he was being black and his wife being Spanish. They told him that he had like a flu. My dad was having a heart attack, but they sent him home. But because she was a person of color, she was like, oh, wait a minute. She took him back to the hospital. Like, she became very educated about how to take care of him. And because of her education and her willing to fight for him, he lived 18 more years because of that.
Oh, wow.
Yep. He got the first heart transplant. He rejected. He got a second one. She learned how to stick him. She watched the nurses. She spoke up. She did all that stuff for him. When he couldn't talk, she talked for him. When I went to go see him, he was in the hospital. She brought him home. She was like, he gets sicker while he's in the hospital. To your point, you think the hospital is a safe place to be healed. It's not. It's a hospital. People are sick in there. Yeah. And your body open, having a baby, your body is open to get infections.
Absolutely.
Get me home.
Get me home.
Yeah, get me home. And just let me take care of myself and let my body naturally heal. And a lot of times it does. But when you have issues, like you said, something was wrong with inside her brain and nobody paid attention. I'm telling you, I don't feel well. You're not paying attention to me. And now my child is about to be raised without me. That's a lot. And just imagine when this child get older, blessings for that child, long as everybody love on him or her and not blame them for that mother passing away. Because some people forget, like that baby is a child. And it's not their fault that she passed away. It's the care that she was given that made her pass away, not because of this child. But some people don't do that. They treat them kids like it's their fault. It's your fault your mama died. Like, but you're a child. So hopefully they get love that they deserve and not be blamed that that lady is gone.
Yeah. So before we get out here, my last question would be like, how can we be the change we want to see as it relates to this issue? How can we be the change that we want to see?
I say being advocates, being willing to be that other eye. When something comes across your spirit and you looking at somebody, like I think it was a known thing that people said for a while with Chadwick Boseman, how he was so frail, and the pictures were starting to circulate and people were speculating. I'm pretty sure probably negative things, but the whole time he was dying in front of us. So it's like, have that advocate, or at least have that relationship with someone that, hey, I'm going here. This is the opinion. This is what they said. What you think? You know what I'm saying? Getting to that point where we can be a community, because you don't know. And there's not no one rhyme or reason why these things happen, because it's not even being discussed enough. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that Black woman should have got to Crown Point and was turned away and she was in labor. Yeah. That lady really pushed her to the door. Like, you had the audacity to show me the door. You know how hurt and traumatizing that is to tell your baby you was born in a car.
8 minutes later, though, it wasn't like it was hours. 8 minutes.
It take that long to get to the room, don't it, Kim? But by the time you get through the elevator, get your gown on, get checked in, get monitor strapped in.
8 minutes. Like, this is crazy work. Like, 8 minutes.
Worth 8 minutes? That's shorter than your lunch break.
That's right.
Miss Karen. Like, it baffles me. So for me, and I just feel like it's just been on my spirit lately, speak up.
Speak up.
And I hate that sometimes other communities take the emphasis of Black, like, oh, they're just trying to exclude. No, we got to put it on there like a stamp because you're not effing hearing us. Mm-hmm. So maybe if we exclude ourselves and say this specific, you would maybe listen. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Brian, how do you think we can be the change we want to see?
I think there's a couple of things that I would say is I hear a lot of distrust from the Black community regarding medical professionals, and I completely understand where that comes from. We're talking about one of the very reasons why that distrust exists, rightfully so. What I would say is don't let that paralyze you from seeking help when you feel like when you need to seek help, and don't let that fear paralyze you. And if when you seek that help, if you feel like you're being dismissed, if you feel like you're not being taken seriously, or if you don't know how to verbalize what it is that you think is wrong with you and people aren't listening to you because of that, get a second opinion. Like, don't go unheard just because a few people refuse to hear you. That's that's where I would go with it.
That's right.
Momma Kim, take us on out.
Everything all you guys have said is one of the biggest things. You have to advocate for yourself. And Brian, the one thing you just said about being afraid, not letting your fear prison you to seek that help, but going to get an opinion here that don't sound right, go to another place to make sure that, and maybe that first person was right, but just you kind of really do know yourself, your body, and what's going on. Be the advocate for yourself, and that's hard sometimes because of things like you getting turned away at the door, or they tell you it's something, they tell you it's this, but it's that. But letting the fear pass you just to make sure that you can talk and be an advocate for somebody else. Just being able to stand up. I think that's where it's coming to light. Just being that person, like you said, being that person to speak for people who can't speak or their voice is muddled. Just being able to, even if you can just help one person, you're not going to be able to help everybody. But if you can just help one person to get the care they need, I think we'll all be in a better place.
And one thing I want to piggyback on is, if you are in healthcare, being a person who actually cares. Yes. Like I believe I saw a movie or some type of true documentary about a nurse who was killing patients and getting away with it. I can't remember what it's called, but it was just astonishing to see that she had been doing it to so many people who were healthy and just would die. Yep. People who had minor things and just would die. If you see something, say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood the malfunctions that would happen, and then there would be witnesses. Well, I remember I saw. So you've been watching and being so nosy, but you didn't want to say nothing. You're accessory. Go to prison. Like this, just do the right thing. People are coming to you being vulnerable. That's do the right thing and help them, or pass them to somebody else. Because you're making a choice, and to me, I feel like that's what hurts. Somebody is choosing to be rude, choosing to be neglectful. That's a choice.
Absolutely.
Definitely is. Well, thank you guys for this great discussion, and thank you, Momma Kim, for bringing this topic to light. Because obviously, it's something that maybe a lot of people don't talk about, or it's something that gets talked about, but then also gets shoved underneath the rug. So thank you for bringing this to our attention.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you again. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will. Oh, and Neat, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate
you. Anytime.
Welcome.
Yes, we appreciate you.
Yes.
So, and with that, we will call it a night. Oh, by the way.
Don't
do it, ma'am. By the way, he's okay. What happened was,
oh my God,
he was asleep. She misstepped when she backed up and woke him up, and that's why he squealed like that. She didn't attack him or anything like that. She misstepped as she was backing up, and that woke him up, and he was in a deep sleep. So that's what took place. All right, I'm sure you guys were waiting on the edge of your seat to find out.
We wasn't, but thank you for that information.
Anyway, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.